Hello, I'm Yongbei from Hi-Fi Immersion YouTube channel. Next to me is Dr. Matthew Webster from YG Acoustics. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, welcome to Korea.
Thank you.
When was the last time you've been to Korea?
Oh, it's actually quite a long time. I think I was in Korea 8 years ago.
Okay, 8 years
ago. So prior to that, we've done some business in Korea. So I've been to Korea maybe 10, 15 times.
Last time when you were here, what kind of business did you do?
That's back in working with software.
Software.
That was actually, we had some mathematical modeling software that was for the oil industry, helping them understand how crude oil was processed. We would model crude oil down to a molecular level so that refineries could work out exactly what was the best way to process it efficiently, making the cleanest products and minimizing any pollution and emissions from the refinery. So that was what last brought me to Korea.
What did you study?
I studied physics as an undergrad and then astrophysics as a PhD.
Okay.
So for me, I think there was a moment where my life changed when I was 15 years old. I did a computer project at school and they encouraged us to do work for a local company to give some idea, so that it would be a practical project. I wrote some software looking at mathematical modeling of, at the time, fluid flow through pipes.
Okay.
And at the end of my...
You did modeling at 15?
Yes. Well, I've always been reasonably good at maths. It was a fun thing to do. And at the end of my project, the company offered to license the software from me. And I was a 15-year-old child. I was like, I had no idea you could make money doing this. And it was also just great fun. And it's an insight to how I ended up here. The first money I earned from software, I immediately went and spent all of it buying a hi-fi system.
What did you buy at the time?
It was the Marantz, the 2-box CD player, the one with the wooden sides. I don't know, CD94 or I forget. It's such a long time ago. And an amplifier from a British company, I can't even remember their name, and a pair of Riga floor standing speakers. It was amazing. I loved it at the time. So
what did you listen to?
Everything. I think this is for so many people I know, genre is an important thing. I just love classical music or I just love electronic music. For me, it's everything. When I'm working, when I'm doing mathematical work, I listen to a lot of electronic music. So trance. It's very good because there's a pattern to it, and you can lose yourself in it while you do the work. But the funny thing is that same ability to lose yourself. Let's say Beethoven's late quartets, which are so complex and rich and intertwined, have the same feeling to me as trance.
How about Bach?
Bach is amazing, but Bach for me is a bit too engaging for me to work to. Whenever I listen to Bach, I listen to Bach, which is unfair. Like the Beethoven late quartets are incredible, but somehow there's something you can lose yourself in. They don't drag your attention. Baroque music, it's so mathematical, and the mathematics.
I was going to ask you that.
And the mathematics of it are always kind of pulling at your mind. They're making you go, oh, that's an interesting pattern. And that's great, but I can't work while I'm listening to it.
So because you're doing mathematics. When was the Cambridge Acoustic Sciences established?
Cambridge Acoustic Sciences. We've done work in acoustics for a while. We've done little projects. We've done some work in submarine acoustics, some work in hypersonics, some bits and pieces. Cambridge Acoustic Sciences, we actually set up, we formalized because of the collaboration with YG. So back in 2020, I'd done my undergrad, I'd done my PhD, I'd set up a company, sold that company, set up a whole bunch of other software companies, worked in a lot of different sectors. And all the way through, there'd been this passion for audio. I'd made my own DAC, I played with amplifiers, I'd play, you know, but as a hobbyist, as a personal passion.
So you're audiophile all the way from 15 years old.
Exactly, and it carried on all the way. I was a YG customer. And that's how my introduction to YG was as a customer. And then I started to, in 2016, 2017, I had some suggestions for the crossover of my YG speakers.
At that time, YG speaker that you were using was
XV Studio. I went across, I met Yoav, talked to him about the crossover designs. And then Yoav sold the company in 2017. And you know, like most of these deals, he stayed on for a while afterwards. He sold the company to a pair of Denver-based investors who are huge music and audio fans. And in 2020, when Yoav and YG parted ways, I had this phone call from YG saying, would I be interested in helping them with speaker design? Because I'd already spoken to them, I already knew all the team there. And I was so excited. And it was the middle of COVID. So it was lockdown. A lot of the other projects I was working on were quite quiet because of COVID. And it was amazing. And that's how the whole thing began. I couldn't travel for the first year to Denver. So I became excellent friends, and I learned everything about the company over Zoom, which I never thought I could become such good friends with people over Zoom. And I would run mathematical models, measure things. We did tons of listening sessions in Cambridge, and then we would send the designs to Denver. Denver would machine them.
What did you use in Cambridge at that time?
At the time, personally, was listening to XV Studios. With a Boulder amplifier set up.
3000 or?
No, it was
2000 series?
No, even it's the 1100.
Really?
Yes, for in that particular system for that size of room. Well, first of all, the 3000 series is beautiful, but it's also a living room. I don't have a dedicated listening room. And having something which is the size of a very large suitcase. The 1100 series sounded amazing. And the footprint works quite well. So I had a pair of the 1160 stereo amplifiers, bi-amping, so on each side. I've thought so many times about having a dedicated listening room, but it sort of reflects where we're going with YG. For me, what's beautiful about an audio system is it should be listening to, just on a personal sort of passion level, listening to music should be part of your life. It's great to have it in a room that you also live in. It's great because then you can have your friends there. It can be a community thing. So for me, the pleasure was listening to music by myself is great. Listening with other people around is even better. And I like having it in a room. And I think for me, that's what reflects in the design of our speakers now. We're trying very hard to make speakers. If you have a speaker that needs exactly one type of amplifier to sound good, I think that's wrong. If you have a speaker where to get the stereo image, your head has to be here, and you move like this and it goes away, that's wrong. It should be something that you can use in any room. It should sound incredible. It should give you that goosebump feeling of realism. And it should be flexible to different amplifiers, different layouts of the room. Shouldn't require a ton of room treatment. And the funny thing is, the closer you get to an ideal loudspeaker, the more room friendly it is.
So how did it affect your Series 3 with what you just said?
Oh, it's exact. That's why we did Series 3.